Move to match number 6 of the Tata IPL 2025, and it's between the Rajasthan Royals and the Kolkata Knight Riders, the second home ground of the Rajasthan Royals. That's at the Barsapara Cricket Stadium in Guwahati. I have Sandy Paji with me. Both the teams are coming into this fixture with a loss. I think more surprising for the Kolkata Knight Riders, who had a very good record against the Royal Challengers Bengaluru, but RCB just thrashed them in the opening game of the season. Talks on both the teams' performance so far in the season.
Well, Rajasthan Royals will start there because how the hell did they manage to put SRH in after winning the toss? That was just a massive blunder of epic proportions, but they fought well. And that's one thing that they'll come back for. I think if they'd got thrashed, got under 200, I think that would have been very demoralizing for them. But, Jurel and Sanju batted really well. So that's positive for them. So Parag's captaincy, question mark. KKR, they just lost too many wickets at the start and they never caught up. And then having Virat there as a chaser, it was going to be RCB's night there. So realistically, both teams will be looking to get the win on the board. But again, a lot of conditions, toss and stuff will take precedent on it.
Absolutely. Toss will play a huge role in every single game, but it's the first away game for the Kolkata Knight Riders. This match was scheduled last season as well, but it ended up being a rain-affected one. No game was played between KKR and RR at the same venue at Guwahati. But this time around, you said about the question mark on Riyan Parag. A lot of records were broken in the previous game between Rajasthan Royals and SRH, starting with somebody from your country who hit the history books. It's Jofra Archer with the most expensive spell in IPL history. I think that's a question mark to the selection from the committee.
Yes. Jofra, they paid some big money from him. It's unbalanced their squad as well, which is another problem because, you spend so much money on a player, he has to perform. Anyone over 10 crore, 11 crore, that bracket, and your budget is small in the first place, it's going to be a problem for you guys. So definitely Jofra will be there.
Did they make the biggest blunder in the auction table by retaining a different Englishman? Because I think releasing somebody like a Josh Butler was their biggest crime.
Yes, it could be, because why would you have Josh Butler and keep Hetmeyer in the same team? And that would have been the problem. So why did they choose that strategy? Because Josh Butler gives you flexibility with the bat, Hetmeyer doesn't, and I think that's where they went wrong. Josh Butler would have stayed for a lower salary. He would have stayed there. So it could be interesting to see how he does at GT. But again, I really think Rajasthan Royals probably looked at Sanju, wicketkeeper, Jurel, wicketkeeper. They've got that base covered, so hence they went for Hetmeyer. But yeah, that's a big blow for the Rajasthan, and the fan base isn't happy.
Absolutely, the fans base are not happy at all. I must tell you for the Rajasthan Royals. And Rajasthan Royals, I think Josh Butler was a batter every single season when Sanju started being the captain, the wicketkeeper. So wicketkeeper duties is not a question about Butler, but I'm not sure why they released him, and they're paying the price at the moment. They did that in the first game. Not sure what happens in the rest of the season. But let's take a look into the head-to-head between KKR and Rajasthan Royals. Keeping aside that abundant game, the last two times Rajasthan Royals managed to defeat their Kolkata Knight Riders. That's the only positive I think the Royals will come up into this fixture because they desperately need a win.
Yes, they do. They do need the victory. And I think what KKR will do, they will be hungry for a victory too. So it's going to be a very, very even Steven match. But again, both teams have to bowl better. And the top order has to fire. Obviously, with the Yashashvi failing and Parag failing in the last game, if they carry that form in, that will be worrying for Rajasthan Royals. And then, how Venki's form is going to be very, very important for KKR. He has to bat well. With that massive price tag on his head, again, can he carry that pressure? But Ajinkya Rahane was very, very good, and obviously he's playing against his old team. So it'd be interesting to see how he performs.
Absolutely. That is going to be key because Venkatesh Iyer, that huge price tag, is going to be playing mind games because the first game at home, it was a good surface to bat on, but I'm not sure. It was a wonderful delivery by Kunal Pandey that got rid of him. How does he cope up with it? Which is the right position for somebody like a Venkatesh Iyer? Because nowadays, he is not going to bat at number 3 anymore because Ajinkya Rahane, what a knock he played in the opening day of the IPL season as well. Talking about the overall head-to-head as well between KKR and Rajasthan Royals, 14 each for both of them. So whom do you think has a little bit of advantage because both the captains are going to lead this franchisee for the second time, Riyan Parag and Ajinkya Rahane?
I still think Riyan Parag's probably got too many mistakes in him. as a captain. So I still think Ajinkya Rahane, you know what you'll get. He'll move the field properly. And Rajasthan Royals' fielding was very, very poor against Sunrisers. Yeah, it was very, very poor as well. So their bowling was very, very poor. Their fielding was very, very poor. Their top order was very, very poor. They got saved at the end with, a masterclass from Jurel and Samson.
Absolutely.
So
Jurel
again,
and
I think,
Sanju Samson played a good knock. Hetty played a good knock. Shubham Dubey played a quick cameo to decrease the equation.
yeah. Yeah, that's the one I'm interested in, and we'll talk about him later because he's one of my choices to play to watch. Because can he carry that on? Because with the loss in their batting from previous years, one of the new players has to step up, and could Shubham Dubey be that person? Because he batted really well in the last game. So
Absolutely.
looking
He
forward to
did
watching
bat.
him.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora were very important in the last game for KKR, and they were quite expensive as well. So the quicker the ball are bowling, the more runs they are going for. So even with Simranjit in that last over, the third over with Simranjit against Rajasthan, he really got whacked. And so again, the quicker you bowl, the quicker you get to the boundary. And again, what you've
100%.
been with this dimension, we could have a high run scoring
Absolutely. I was about
background.
to just come to that one. Guwahati being a small ground, the square boundaries are pretty small compared to the one the teams played the previous game, Hyderabad and Eden Gardens. What about how many runs can we expect? I'll put you in the captain's hand right now. Let's take a look into the pitch report of Guwahati. Paji, just 4 matches have been played at this venue in the Indian Premier League. 2 times the team batting first have been victorious. Just one, the team chasing. But interestingly, the captains winning the toss all the time have opted to chase. Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, I think chasing, if there's no dew, or if there's no dew, that's the key. That's the key. You can't really, like, for the last couple of matches we've watched, dew hasn't been a factor. So really, those conditions are important. So when they made that decision, they were probably looking dew might be there, so we will chase. But again, I'm more looking at this IPL. I'm thinking get a 220 plus score, and then the pressure is always going to be on the chasing team.
Are
They've
you
got to take a
thinking
risk.
this? So far, the new rule has not been implemented. Are you also thinking, because in case it's heavy dew, the umpires, if they feel right, can give you the second ball after the 11th over? Are you thinking that way as well in case of defending?
Yeah, I'm still thinking of that rule as well. But again, as I said, the issue is even if you get a new ball at 11 overs, if the dew's there, you're only looking at 3 overs when it probably might make a difference.
Yeah.
Especially if a lot of the balls are played on the ground. If they're played over the top, then it's not a problem. But again, you've got to really, really look at that. It is at an advantage when there's due to chase. So we're coming to that thing now. We'll get some more weather updates on the matches, and then I think captains will make that decision. But my thing would get the runs on the board, make sure you clear 220, and then the other team, even if the dimensions are small, they've got to take a lot of risks. And suddenly the power play becomes very important. And if you don't get,
Absolutely.
16, 17 the power play, that's it. And we saw that in the Rajasthan Sunrisers match where I think there were about 90. Sunrisers were 90 after 6
if
overs.
I'm not mistaken, is what Sunrisers Hyderabad posted in the power play. And even I agree with what
Yeah.
you said. Rajasthan Royals gave a very good fight in the run change to decrease the deficit, but it was not enough to get the 2 points. What about you saying that bat first, score 220 plus at any given venue in this tournament, and then defend the target? No more chasing hunting grounds at this venue just because of the new rules coming out. What about the strategy? This is where things come interesting out here. Rapid fire questions, Paji, all the way to you. 4 questions, 60 seconds to you. Your time starts now. Was picking Jofra Archer in the IPL auction a bad decision by Rajasthan Royals?
Yes, it was, because obviously there's no form to justify that price tag. So I would have paid that money. If it was about 6 or 8 crore, I would have taken the risk.
Okay. How many sixes do you think Andrew Russell will hit tomorrow?
5. Again, the ball is going through quick. And Russell comes in. 5 or 6 at least. But yeah, it
Okay.
depends on the match situation. Yeah.
Okay. How many wickets do you think Sunil Narayan will pick tomorrow?
I'm going to go 4-4. He's going to get a 4-5. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think will score more runs between Venkatesh Iyer and Riyan Parag?
Lord Parag will be very disappointed in the last performance. So he will want to show the world that he can captain and he can also bat at that very important position. 3 or 4 is very, very important in the IPL, and he's going to come into that. Or if he comes at 5, he wants to see the team home. So I'm going to go for Lord Parag.
Okay, so you've given your 4 answers, and it was pretty good, I must say. You've been very honest with your answers. It's done and dusted. We'll see at the end of the game how many did you get right. But let's move on to the players to watch out for. These are the three players from each team that I've gone for, Paji. For KKR, I've gone for Quinton de Kock, Venkatesh Iyer, and Harshit Rana. For Rajasthan Royals, I've gone for Yashasvi Jaiswal, Riyan Parag, and Mahesh Tikshana are my three players to watch out for. Can you start with KKR? Any different names from your end?
For me, Quinton de Kock is not going to be the player. I think he's past his best. So I'm going to go for Ajinkya Rahane again. I think playing against his old team, captaining the squad, I think that's going to be very, very important for him to perform. So I think Ajinkya Rahane would be one I'd put in for Rajasthan. And the other one would be Shubham Dubey, because obviously I think that's going to be a very, very important position for Rajasthan. An Indian finisher, a young player, less experienced, done well off a good match. Can he continue? Because that's one thing. And obviously on the bowling front, it would be Jofra Archer. Can he get a performance just to get himself back, and the positive
so you said
limelight?
Shubham Dubey for the Rajasthan Royals. You're backing Jofra Archer to play the next game despite coming into the history books. But what about my Wanindu Hasaranga? What do you reckon why he was not picked in the previous game?
It's just really because of the way the foreigners, they're trying to pick the foreigners. It's very difficult to fit them all in either squad, because they'll look at the pitch conditions and they'll base it on that. But I think they want their top foreign players to play well. So Hasaranga coming in, is he more important than someone like a Jofra Archer? I'm not sure. I think they'll stick with Jofra. They paid the money for him. They'll give him the position. And Tiksaina, again, he's come up for very, very good IPL with CSK. So I think he's a shoe-in as well. So it'll be interesting who they pick, but I still think they'll go for Jofra. I think Jofra is going to be the key player for them.
Okay, so you think Jofra Archer is going to be key for the Rajasthan Royals. You've given your 3 says about the players to watch out for. Let's move on to the key battles. Here are my 3 battles I've gone for. Fazal Farooqi versus Quinton de Kock with the new ball. He has been dismissed one already by the left-arm seamer. Then I'm moving to Sandeep Sharma versus Andrew Russell. In the death overs, I think this man can be pivotal for Rajasthan Royals. Knuckle balls against the hitman, Dre Russ, his muscle man. He can be there as well. And the third one, I'm going for Sunil Narayan versus Sanju Samson. He's been dismissed thrice, but we all know Sanju is such a good player of spin. This can be a make or break for the batting order.
Yeah, the Sanju Samson one I'm interested in. For me, I think Sanju always used to get out from Hasaranga. That he always is. So would Sunil Ryan take that wicket? It'll be interesting to see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to that one. Dre Ross against Sandeep. That's a great battle as well. A great matchup. Sandeep has all those disguise balls. Dre Ross, can he calm himself? I kind of predicted that he was going to knock a 6 and get out in the last game. He's got to use his head, especially if KKR are chasing, because they need those big hits at the end. And if they've got a big score to chase on a smaller ground, one of their lower order batsmen has to perform as well. Quinton de Kock versus Fazal Farooqi is a good matchup as well, because both players didn't have a good first game. So whether they can continue, because Quinton de Kock losing someone like Sword, who was pivotal for KKR in the championship win, I don't see Quinton de Kock at the level of a Phil Salt. I just don't see that, and I think that's going to be a big problem for KKR, because I think last year Quinton de Kock was not reliable at any position he batted. So I'm still thinking KKR are going to feel the loss of Phil Salt probably more than they thought they would.
Absolutely. Always there has been question marks coming on why did KKR leave Phil Salt? Why did KKR leave Shreyas Iyer? Venkatesh Iyer's price tag has been the headlines in the Kolkata Knight Riders camp so far in the auction table, and after that in the season so far as well. Can they turn it out? Because I think if I have to point out, I think KKR's bowling attack is not that threatening anymore. They do not have Stark. They've got an Aussie with left-arm seamer, but Spencer Johnson, I'm not too confident how much can he do get the job done. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11, starting with the home side for the Rajasthan Royals. This is what I've gone with in terms of the predicted playing 11, Paji. I'm going with Shubham Dubey or Akash Madhwal as my impact sub. With the same 11, I'm backing that. I do not have Jofra Archer in my side. I think that if he's not part of the 11, I can have somebody like a Hasaranga and fit in Akash Madhwal as my death specialist. That's what I've gone with. One change, no Jofra Archer, I've gone with Hasaranga. Any changes for you?
To be fair, I think Madhwal is a good shout because he bowled really well last year, and I think he was bowling at the Wankhede as well. So again, you could be very expensive at that ground, and he bowled really really well. So I think Madhwal is a good choice, but I still think they'll stick with Jofra. They've paid the money; they want to give him confidence. It will destroy his confidence if he doesn't play. So I think that will come in, and if that comes in, then obviously they could choose. If they bat first or second, they could have Shubham Dubey or Madhwal
Yeah,
in the second lot. So I think,
so you're
not too
saying the
far off.
Jofra Archer continues to play? No Hasaranga once again. You're going to give him confidence. You're going to back your strike bowler Jofra to get your job done. Pick wickets early on in the power play as well. So same team according to you. Madhwal is a good
Yeah.
shout according to you in terms of the impact sub. Otherwise, it's Shubham Dubey if you're batting first or second, whatever it is. Let's move on to the KKR playing 11. This is what I've gone with. Same team from what I've had last time around as well. I think there's a little bit of experienced issue. That's the reason I've got an Enric Nokia in place of Spencer Johnson, while the rest of the playing 11 stays the same. Are you going with the same, or are you once again backing Spencer Johnson?
I wouldn't back Spencer Johnson. I've watched him live at Edgbaston a few times, and he's just got whacked. He's quick, but I don't see superstar
Is
in the
that
making
one
there.
spell in the 100 that made Spencer Johnson this one?
Yes. It's just the raw pace that he's got. He's got a lot of ability with the pace, but there's nothing really that backs it up. And Andrik Nokia, season campaigner in the IPL, I think you would definitely back him to do that, whether he's injured or slightly injured, because he misses a lot of matches. Whether they're going to manage his fitness during the year, it'll be a problem. But the thing is, they've lost Mitchell Stark, and Mitchell Stark was, in there with Vaibhav Arora and Harshit Rana, and that threesome was deadly. And that was very pivotal why they won the IPL, together with obviously Shreyas captain and Sultan there. So I think KKR have been really weakened with the auction, and whether these players that they've come in, because if you get the Enric Nokia of the first period of Delhi Capitals, he's going to be brilliant. If you get the one at the later part of Delhi Capitals, he was over the hill. So whether Spencer Johnson can fill that gap, I don't think so. So I really think both of these teams, they need and Enric Nokia bowling well and Jofra Archer bowling well, because Akshay Deshpande is a good bowler, but he can go for runs, and you need your strike bowlers they will win you the IPLs. The strike bowlers will win you the IPLs. That's given fact.
100%. That's true. So your strike bowlers needs to be backed, is what you're saying. Archer for Rajasthan Royals. You think Jofra Archer will play for Rajasthan, and Enric Nokia needs to be back for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Predictions time now, Paji. You're in the hot seat. Let's take to predictions. Match number 6, Rajasthan Royals versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. What's your percentage, Paji?
It's a hard one. I'm going to go 51% KKR, 49% Rajasthan Royals. I think it's going to be a very close match. Again, who's ever top order bats well will probably end up winning the match. I still think KKR's bowling is slightly better than RR's. So again, if KKR bat second and restrict RR, I think then KKR would take the match. So I'm just going to back KKR in the game.
So that's so tight according to you, 51-49. I'm backing the Knights, to be honest. I think they're just a little bit heavyweights in terms of this. That's all we have for you. Thank you, Paji. Thank you to all the viewers watching this video. It's the Kolkata Knight Riders with Rajasthan Royals tomorrow at Guwahati. Sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.